So he thinks that the adversary might have been like feeding on him psychically from the background. But then when Storm came, it was like, woo! Buffet! Hey guys, welcome to Cinevibe. Today we're watching Life Death Part 2, the sixth, oh my god, I can't even say that. The sixth episode of X-Men 97. Now, I had a little bit of a computer tragedy. I lost my reaction footage. The files were corrupted for episodes 5 through 9 when I was binging. 10 is intact, so that's going to be a real first time watch. But this, unfortunately, like, gotta make the most out of it, or gotta salvage the situation. This is going to be a rewatch reaction. I just want to be straightforward. But it is what it is. I hope you still give it a chance. You know, it'll be a little bit different. Instead of getting that secondhand, like, wonder and surprise, maybe it can be like, you know, we're sort of like bouncing ideas back and forth. Like, yeah, I really liked when they did that. Yeah. Okay, the recap's playing. That was still just one of the most epic episodes of TV. Oh, and the adversary.
Get out of my
That was
home,
peak design right there.
This death?
Oh, those Nightcrawler effects. I think that was new. Oh, Nimrod. That was definitely a new one for the intro, I mean. And then there's Forge battling the Shi'ar. Okay, so at first it does seem like the Shi'ar are getting their asses kicked. But I guess they sent in the A-team.
This pigeon shall not thwart the will of the Supreme Intelligence.
The Gladiator might.
Victory for the Imperial Guard!
And Vulcan's there too, right? Isn't that him who's just doing... No, he's the one in the red with the darker hair, I think.
Be honored to fall at my feet, Ronan.
True Kree bows to no one.
I do kind of like the MCU Ronin design a little bit better. I just like that they wear the blue face paint, but I get that this is sourcing completely different material. Yeah, there's Vulcan.
My dearest sister is always of utmost priority.
Now, that's an insult right there. A stiletto right in the cheek. God damn. The insult.
This man helped spare the entire universe from the madness of my brother D'Ken.
You know, I really need to rewatch the original because I have no memory of D'Ken.
And before you, my loyal people, with joyous news in times
Everyone's like, what the fuck is she saying?
our empire shall welcome a new emperor, Professor Charles Xavier.
To the might and glory of the Imperium.
Over my clipped wings.
Do not fret. My subjects trust me when I say you are no mere Terran, Charles.
Did not see a lot of trust in their expressions, but sure.
You should message them. Use a hologlobe. Invite them to the wedding.
Okay, so I mean, she's kind of isolating, but not really.
An educator such as you can teach them our ways. Do as you did on Earth. Play the role of the peacemaker.
Except he never succeeded at that on Earth. And now he's in charge of it for the universe. Okay, finally, back to Storm segment. The disrespect of her not getting her own full episode.
Liar. He was trying to help me.
Oh, the way that it lurks in the rafters.
How many have suffered his gifts? How many made slaves? You will not break me. But I can fix you.
Oh, I love that.
Forge made his bed. Let him die in it.
Not break me. Yeah, Storm's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. You won't break me. That reminds me of the Beyonce Verizon commercial.
Let him die. You're not an X-Man anymore. Where did that get you? Kissing the hand that beats you?
Ooh! They just went there for this segment.
You fear living. I have wondered what it would be like to be human. It is a tempting daydream.
Let me out! Let me out!
I was wrong. Forge didn't rob your gifts. You had already renounced them.
I cannot breathe!
Lord of Chaos! Depart to the desert, demon! Depart and be gone!
Wait, did you notice that Forge bandaged up his wound first, though? Also, obviously, the Doctor Strange magic.
Despite my best efforts.
Oh my god, the pus.
Your shoulder. Its bite is magical. Perhaps your mother's book holds an answer.
She wrote about a cacti. The Midnight Chala.
God, look at look at Forge's body. Like, the man just is in impeccable shape.
I don't have much time, Aurora. If this nastiness gets worse while you're gone, I don't want to be alone.
We ride together, my love.
She reciprocated. The thought just hit me. Imagine how crazy it would have been if the demon scenario was all just a ploy to get Storm to reciprocate his affection. Oh, Forge, you bitch. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This whole segment, I was not as invested in it as I am in Storm, you know, fulfilling her epiphany journey.
Happiness. But given our war with the Kree, and how it's divided even we Shi'ar...
Oh, this bitch.
Your consort was born on the wrong side of the stars. Xavier would see his Milky Way ghetto become our new throne
The Milky
world.
Way ghetto.
You are twisting my words.
I must invoke the right of Mdasha.
You must renounce Earth and erase all memory of your life there. Charles Xavier must purge all memories of Earth, and you, dear sister, must be the one to do it.
Yeah, well, you know, keep in mind when you do something like that, you're also destroying someone's personality. Because how can you delineate like key personality development and lessons on Earth if you scrub all Earth memory from a mind? You know, you would leave a broken mind. That's something that bugged me about No Way Home. You know, all the people who forget Peter, it's like so much background rewriting of perception of reality that would have to happen for that to like leave someone with a structurally sound mind.
Yes, his name is Magnus, and I wish to remember him.
You've made your decision then. Do you love me, Charles?
He's like, yes,
A silly
but
question.
not as much as I love
Even you know
Magneto.
Death Punch challenge goes-
There, that's it. Snow Snake Tower.
It's still so far away.
The demon was not your doing.
A big evil owl that feeds on anger and self-loathing. Call me chum in the water.
Then I am chum too.
Oh, that's interesting. So he thinks that the adversary might have been like feeding on him psychically from the background. But then when Storm came, it was like, woo, buffet.
I am better this
No,
way.
Storm. No, you ain't.
Growing up, I always heard how the worst weapon used by the Europeans was not bullets or blankets,
Disease.
but a white lie.
Oh, right. The lie. The lie that you're uncivilized and we can fix you.
How you feel about tight spaces?
Oh, the claustrophobia of it all. It's like, I can't do it.
Xavier, do you renounce your X-Men?
See? He hesitates. This Xavier is not even a pure Terran, a lower caste, a mutant.
They view the mutant, even they're racist. Oh my god. The mutants are like a notch above, bitch.
Gladiator, arrest this treacherous vulture, and any who dare to stand with her.
Yeah, that bullet. Ooh! Oh, okay. You know she's gonna need a back brace after that.
No, not this way.
Literally, Superman
I have
level.
forgotten my greatest gift.
Class is now in session.
I have used my vast psychic abilities to draw us into the astral plane. It is time for today's lesson.
It's like, educate this, bitch.
Have to save him, be above it. Now look at you. Yes, let me taste. Ooh, yummy.
This is such a good representation.
Approached in self-loathing. Last stop. You, pancaked by the pressure of existing. Submit, and I will save you and let you live your death.
Okay, I'm gonna save my thoughts for after. This is just so epic. So epic.
No.
That's right.
Demon. Not a daydream. The Executioner's neutralizer.
I'm gonna save it.
The
I'm gonna
only
save it.
weapon tamping down my gifts. There was that lie.
Yes!
And I believed it.
Believe the lie.
Okay, the
Deny
chills. The chills.
your power. Play dead, or humanity will thunder down upon you and your kind.
Also, I love the way the head goes
Them
around.
thunder, for I am lightning.
Woo! Okay, this whole sequence was such a good representation of like the inner monologues and ruminations that you can have and the self-doubts that you can have in the back of your mind as part of like the LGBTQ plus experience, especially if you're in a not so supportive environment. And that's sort of what the demon is talking about. It's like, you know, like because of your fear and doubt and self-loathing, it's like you're killing a part of yourself in order to try to survive in society at large. But she's like, let them thunder, for I am lightning. Now granted, obviously us LGBTQ plus folks, we don't have storm powers, which it would be lovely if we did, although some straights think that we're witches. I wish, bitch, I wish. But that just made the scene so resonant for me, because it's like, you know, that's what makes it so inspirational.
To feel grateful.
Like just that desire to overcome the demon. You can tell Beau DeMaio really imparted a lot of his life experience into all of this, just everything.
Until we finally heal our adversary by embracing
it.
Should we whisk away to some tropical island?
Not an entirely unpleasant idea.
Off to Aruba.
By the brutal attack on Genosha to return to their home countries. This, as rumors swirl that Genosha...
Yeah, a lot happened while you were gone, Storm. And Forge just looks like a, yep, this is how it goes.
Fearing this, you strike at the knees and claim you can help them walk again. But only if they assimilate, submit, which brings us...
This is also kind of, like Forge was saying, echoing his talks about colonialism. Okay, I appreciate that on the rewatch, the lacing of the structures and the messages.
Who made up these silly rules?
We did, beloved. Playing make-believe.
Lilandra's like, God, you're so hot when you talk like this. Your intellect is so sexy.
That the universe is very old, and all of us very young, born of ancient stardust.
But I just go back to the fact that you never even succeeded on Earth. How are you going to succeed with this messaging on a universal scale?
No!
Foreshadowing.
No. They were dancing, drinking wine, making love! Oh, my children of the atom, destroyed! No!
God, that was very Linda Hamilton, too. T2, when she just gets wrecked on that fence.
I must return to Earth immediately.
But we've nearly convinced the council.
It doesn't matter!
Charles, if you leave, you will prove my sister right about your kind.
What? What is the negative lesson? Oh my God.
I will not abandon my kind. It is time I return to my X-Men.
Oh, that electronic flourish right there.
I did what you asked! I gave you my DNA to access Master Mold.
I love, too, how later in the series, we figure out where the hell this is. Because at first, it's like, where is this? But then we learn...
Don't take all the blame, Oliver, and don't fret the future. You have nothing to fear, so long as you place your faith in Sinister.
And another great episode, moving things forward slowly but surely. So I'm not gonna lie, I do wish that Storm had gotten her own full episode for like overcoming the adversary demon and finally reclaiming her power, but I understand they had to get Charles back on board, but that's just down to budgeting, I think, of time and resources, you know? It's like they have a 10-episode structure from the jump, and they have to figure out how to accomplish everything that they need to within that framework. In a perfect world, I think that this first season would have been 12 episodes, but we still would have been like, oh, like I wish that they would have expanded that and that and that, you know what I mean? It's like these shows can't go on forever. I do stand by everything I said about Storm overcoming the adversary and how it sort of mirrors some aspects of the real life LGBTQ plus experience. I really think that I don't know if Bo DeMaio was the head writer on every episode, but it's clear that like from an LGBTQ plus individual, it's clear that someone who is also part of the Rainbow family was part of the creative and writing process for a lot of these ideas at the very least, because it just has that touch where you're like this viscerally hits in a way that I relate to, even though this is about metahuman mutant individuals and, you know, demonic hauntings and all that and intergalactic whatever, like a lot of these ideas. Like, I wouldn't say that it's triggering, but it hits in a way that feels true to life. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel. Those are the doubts that I have on a daily basis. That's that nagging voice in the subconscious that makes me feel nervous sometimes about like my own safety and like having to make that choice of like, do I suppress who I feel like I authentically am today just so that I don't get attacked at the Walmart parking lot? Or do I choose to be brave knowing that, you know, like depending on being at the wrong place at the wrong time, someone could pull a gun out and shoot you in the chest? And I think that it's also interesting how that choice actually would be easier if we did have mutant powers. Like if that was the only issue, like, oh, like we just can't show that we're different, like, cause like we can't use our superpowers. You know what I mean? Being LGBTQ plus, unfortunately, doesn't come with superpowers. So I just really appreciate how this show has woven in a lot of these like diverse and intersectional real life fears and issues going on in our society today, and has mirrored them in a way that feels so relevant and also authentically true to the origins and the whole mission statement of the X-Men from a comics messaging standpoint in general. Like it really is respecting the origins of these characters and their creation, but then also updating it in a way that still feels so relevant and modern and just true to what's happening every day today. So that's all I've got to say about episode 6. Let's move on to episode 7. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! This is a supplemental thought related to Life Death Part 2. I just finished filming, but I wanted to add this because I was downstairs changing my laundry and I had a little bit of a rumination flash. I know that there are various different rumination styles, but like if you've ever been caught in the cycle where it's a daily persistent life occurrence, then you know where I'm coming from. And if you don't, then maybe this will explain why the way that they covered the adversary being like a dark echo of Storm's self-loathing, doubts, and fears, etc., etc., etc. Like maybe it'll make more sense why it hit so hard, because I was literally changing laundry, had a flash of a memory, and it caused just such an uncomfortable, like embarrassing, guilty, humiliating feeling that I literally out loud was like, oh my fucking God, like, you stupid whore, like, you'd be better off dead. And I have, like, when that happens, I have to catch myself and be like, okay, like, we're not going there. Come on, like, you know, think of something else real quick. Don't get caught into this game where it's like that thought into that thought into that thought into that thought into that thought, and each one getting progressively more anxiety inducing, more self-hating, until you're like literally like grabbing your head like oh my fucking God, like, you're so stupid, like, hey, like you know what I mean? Well, you might not know what I mean. And just to be clear real quick, I only do that when I'm by myself, where it just like comes out. Like, I've sort of trained myself, if I'm around other people and it's happening, it's like I'll feel like the pressure building in my chest, but instead of blurting out like you stupid bitch, instead I'll just sort of like groan, like, ugh. Like, that's sort of how it manifests. I'll just be like, oh, or kind of a little bit of like a riff, like a oh no, oh. But yeah, that's something that happens for me like dozens of times a day. And I've just learned to manage it and to live with it the best that I can. Really, the best tool for me is just immediately try to think of another topic. Because once you get caught in it, like, you can lose hours if you just succumb to it. So that's why you have to like try to bounce to a different non-relevant, either a neutral thought, like a pop culture thought, or like start watching a TV show or something, like just anything to redirect. But that's where the representation of that sort of negativity, that sort of haunting negativity, just works so well for Life, Death Part 2 with the adversary concept, because rumination in a weird way does feel almost like a demonic haunting. So I just wanted to add that, but kudos to the whole team behind X-Men 97, because it's so well executed on every level. And I really appreciate the care that went into this, and I'm looking forward to more.